He looks too heavy to carry around.
Excuse me, by any chance, do you know how to ride a horse and throw a pumpkin?
It's Shroudy's coffin. I can't believe we sleep in the same room.
Separate coffins, at least. Sometimes you need to look on the bright side of things.
It won't budge. The coffin has some kind of combination lock on the side of it. A lady never spits on things, but believe me, I'm tempted. I prefer not to turn into a bat unless I have to. It reminds me of my curse too much. It's my bed.
You mean it's your coffin, right?
Oh, Frederick, you and your vampire obsession. It's my bed, nothing more.
You say tomato, I say tomato, you say bed, I say it's a velvet-lined pine box that corpses sleep in. I call that a coffin.
I still say it's my bed. And come to think of it, I really need to wash my sheets. For some reason, each morning when I wake up, I am laying on a pile of dirt.
I'm no expert, but I think the dirt is something you vampire types need for some reason. Something about a grave. I swear I read that somewhere.
I'm no vampire, so I won't be needing this dirt. I'm rather tired right now. I wish I had the time to take a nap.
A dirt nap?
I don't need to be dragging my bed.
Coffin?
I'm going to ignore that. Anyway, I don't need my bed right now, but it's good to know that it's here in case I need it later. Eek! Rats!
You mean Frankie and the gang? Nah, don't worry about them, Mona. That rat pack is a bunch of good fellas.
Well, if you say so, those are some rats inhabiting the crypt. Hello?
Hey, hello there yourself, dollface. How you doing today?
Who are you?
My name is Frank, although my friends call me Frankie. I'm here with my associates, Sammy, Joey, and Dean. We've been living in this castle for quite some time. You might say we manage the neighborhood.
How you doing, Frankie?
Hey, look, yous guys, it's the Froadmeister. I told you about him. This crazy guy could do things with his calcar that would make your head spin. You still do that trick, eh, Frody?
Oh, no, Frankie. I've sort of stopped doing stuff like that. I'm laying off the vino now, staying clean, if you know what I mean.
Forget about it. Yo, hey, sorry to hear about the thing with Rocco. You know, he's still looking for you. He and the Belfry boys are still pretty steamed up. You better make it right, and soon. Capiche?
And what about you? Looks like you got yourself a full-on rat pack.
Don't be a wise guy. You're trying to be some kind of comedian or something?
Nah, I really think of myself as more of a short, one-eyed song and dance man.
Please forgive him.
Forget about it.
Do you and your associates know the layout of the castle?
Oh, yeah. My associates and I use the old plumbing running through the castle to get from room to room. We pretty much have the run of the place, with the exception of the kitchen.
Why can't you go into the kitchen?
Well, the Baroness's cat hangs out in there. She's taken down a lot of my soldiers. Just the other day, she whacked my cousin Jimmy the Rat Carboni.
Not the most inventive nickname I've ever heard.
What are you gonna do? It's a popular name. Everybody wants it. So what am I gonna do?
How come I never met you before?
Well, your master Baron Shroudy wasn't too fond of us, so we laid low until we heard from Edgar the Raven that Shroudy got whacked. Did you order that hit?
What? Me? No! I didn't even know you could order a hit. Or I might have been tempted to order one sooner.
And I've heard you singing too. It's nice, but a bit overwhelming and loud. You need to learn to control it better so you don't blow away your audience.
Gee, thanks. Opera tips from a rat.
An Italian rat? If we Italians know anything, it's opera. You're good. You just need some coaching.
Do you know the combination to Shroudy's coffin?
You know, we never did try to steal his combo. He never had anything we wanted to borrow. But I bet Ozzy over at the water pool or Big Bad Barb over here saw something. Then why not ask them?
Okay, I will. Thanks.
Hey, anything for you, Dollface. You got any more questions for Papa Frankie over here?
Bob over there mentioned something about a magic book the Baroness was interested in. Are you familiar with that?
How could we not be? It's all the Baroness ever screamed about while she was torturing the poor bastard she brought down here.
You mind telling me about it?
Well, that depends. That's where my memory enters what you call a gray area.
How gray?
Navy blue. But it might get a little more beige if you do us a solid.
What is it you want us to do so that you'll tell us about the book?
We need you to hit somebody for us, and it needs to be a real message job. Pyewacket, the Baroness's cat, lives near the kitchen. You take her out, and maybe we can do some business.
You want me to kill a defenseless little kitty?
Defenseless, She's 20 pounds of pure feline killing machine. She's too much for any of my capos to handle. We even brought in a specialist from Sicily. After Pyewacket was finished with him, all that was left was a single foot.
I guess this Pyewacket likes Italian.
You take care of this little problem for us and bring a collar as proof the deed was done. We'll tell you what you need to know to get to the Book of Shrouds. I will tell you this much. To find the Book of Shrouds, you're going to have to gain access to the Baroness's secret laboratory, which is only accessible through the library. Now that's all I'm gonna tell you until you bring me the cat's collar.
All right, fine. Kill a defenseless little kitten and bring back the collar as proof.
Yeah, that's it. You have any more questions for me, sweet cheeks?
Au revoir. Hello, Mr. Fountain. How are you doing today?
I think he said, "I'd love to chat with you, but it's hard to speak with a high-pressure jet of water emanating from my mouth."
I can imagine. I wonder if there's a way to turn it off somehow.
There aren't any valves to shut off the water that I can see. Maybe they're somewhere else.
As this is a torture chamber and all, I think I'm just going to keep my hands to myself. It's a large metal spike, probably used to hold prisoners' coats. Right, Frederick?
Yeah. I mean, no. Actually, it's an art installation by some guy named Vlad Tepes. He used to put a bunch of stuff on it, but I forget what.
I'd love to talk to the person who installed this interesting thing.
Hey, look. There's an instruction manual carved into the side of the spike. It says, "Lift person. Be sure to lift with legs, not lower back. Press person firmly against spike until tip protrudes 2 to 3 inches from person's sternum. may cause skin irritation.
It's bolted to the wall. I'm unnaturally strong, but not that strong. It's some kind of pit. I can't see what's down there because it's so dark.
You may not be able to see it, but you can certainly smell it. Whatever's down there smells worse than the skid marks in Shroudy's underwear.
How do you know that? Ugh, never mind. I don't need to know. It's a good thing I haven't eaten anything this morning. Otherwise, I might be making a contribution to whatever's down in that pit.
You mean you're on the verge of blowing chunks, yodeling in the gully, talking to Ralph on the big white telephone, executing a Technicolor yawn, launching lunch, delivering street pizza, or involuntarily creating a personal protein spill?
Fudgick, you're more than a little twisted, but highly creative. If I want to open it, I should probably try pulling on the handle. All of these obstacles are really starting to grate on me. Ah! It's stuck. The hinges appear to be rusted shut. I won't be able to open this up until the hinges are working. It's a couple of chains.
Now all we need are some chips, dip, whips, and we got ourselves a party.
I'm going to assume these were used as part of Shroudy's torture process, as opposed to something he enjoyed.
No way! Chains are great, especially if they belong to someone else and you can yank them.
Ain't gonna happen. It's a burning torch. That's hot.
Hot or not, I wouldn't touch it.
If it's all the same to you, I'd rather not set myself on fire. That's strange. I never realized the castle had a sub-basement. It looks a little hot in there.
Who's that mean-looking dude with the pitchfork? And who is that standing next to him?
You mean the guy with the stupid look on his face and the name tags that says, "My name is George"? I have no idea.
Hey, you! Yeah, I'm talking to you, Mr. Big Red Dude with the spiked tail. You're lucky I forgot to bring my fiddle, otherwise I'd challenge you to the musical duel of the century, and I'd kick your calcer.
Hello in there!
Who are you waving to, Mona?
A whole bunch of lawyers. Did you just tell me to go to there? No. You can go, though. It's an unlit torch.
Wow, I've never seen one of those. It seems like they never go out. Ever. I think it goes without saying that Shroudy was definitely carrying one of those for you.
This might come in handy, but I'm not carrying it around. I'll keep it in mind. It's Flodrick's gilded cage.
Yeah, it seems I've spent my life behind bars. Up the river, doing some hard time.
Hard time? What's so hard about living in the cozy cage with a steady diet of snacks? You love your cage, so stop trying to play the bad boy role. It doesn't suit you.
There goes my street cred. Hi, Cagey. You seem to be wary of being trapped or deceived.
His cage is already open. Sleep in his cage? Oh, it's way too messy.
My cage is too dirty? I see. You prefer sleeping in a dirt-filled coffin covered in mold sitting in the middle of a dreary crypt deep under a musty castle?
Now that you mention it, that is kind of odd. They are bags of Flodrick snack food, a combination of dried fruits and oily nuts.
Everything a growing bat needs. Sunflower seeds, almonds and peanuts, dried apricots and bananas, and a few leftover free-range grubs from the always important insect group.
After we escape, we won't have time to stop and eat, so we better bring these along. I don't know what it is about this mirror, but I simply don't look like myself.
You're pulling my wing, right?
What do you mean?
Sweetheart, it looks like Shroudy taped the picture over your mirror, probably because he didn't want you to see, or actually not see, your reflection. Apparently, he had some 6-year-old kid draw the picture.
Wait a minute. What does it say down in the corner? With love from Shroudy.
Scratch the 6-year-old kid idea. I guess I'll have to add art to my list of things that Shroudy sucks at. Maybe I'll put it just below escaping vampire hunters.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the lamest of them all?
Shroudy von Kiefer.
I'd tear this picture down, but I'm afraid of what I'll see underneath.
You mean not see, right?
I better take this. I might need it at some point. I'd better grab this. It's a lovely collection of vases.
Mona? Those aren't vases.
What do you mean?
You see the names on them? Edgar von Trapperkeeper, Ferris von Bueller, Klaus von Kiefer. Vases generally don't have proper names or titles. Those are all of the Baroness's dead husbands.
And all this time I thought they were just designer potpourri containers. She sure had a lot of unlucky husbands.
Yeah, unlucky that they met her.
Hello, Beulah, Klaus, Edgar, and Celeste. How are you vases feeling today? I might need that, but I can't carry it around with me. I'll keep it in mind. It's my bed.
Really? Because I thought your bed was down in the basement. You know, that pine box with dirt in the bottom that smells a bit like a corpse?
Well, I like sleeping down there better because this room gets way too bright. I'm afraid you haven't been getting much use.
Yeah, the bed-making industry in Draxylvania is in big trouble.
I'm not tired right now. Besides, I rather enjoy staying up late. Although sometimes it makes me so tired I end up sleeping the entire day away.
Gee, I wonder why. Could it have anything to do with being a vampire?
Vampire schmampire. It's just a simple curse, nothing more. I'm going to take this. It's a vase full of dead roses. Shroudy used to bring me flowers every week, but they were always pretty much the same.
Roses?
Dead. Every one of these has a thorn, just like every night has a dawn. If I try to pick them up, they just fall apart. It's better to admire them from afar. It's a hand-drawn picture. I think it's supposed to be Shroudy's mother.
Picasso? He ain't. That's for sure.
Hi, lousy hands-on picture. I don't collect art done by lunatics.
Is there any other kind?
It's Shroudy's old toy box. There are some odd toys in there.
Since Santa only supplies the castle with heaps of coal, the Baroness had to contract some toy outfit run by this creep who wears a red suit and calls himself Sandy Claus.
Hello, toy box. If only you had been filled with lots of small parts that baby Shroudy could have choked on. You have seriously let me down. I don't see anything I really want to carry around with me. It looks like one of those toys that you spin and then it makes the various animal noises. This animal noise toy just might come in handy. It's a picture of some really weird-looking man. The picture frame says, "From Jack the Gimper to my lovely Baroness."
Man, that is one crazy-looking man. I hope we never run into that guy.
With our luck, we'll probably end up meeting him. You are creepy looking.
And lame.
Ugh! There's no way I'm touching that picture. That guy is too creepy looking. It's the dark, frigid waters of Lake Varg.
Do people swim in it?
Well, sometimes they float. Usually face down. Hello, Mr. Lake Monster. I think you are so glossy and shiny and powerful looking. I bet you're just misunderstood and not monstrous at all. So, for some reason, Shroudy's curse keeps me from flying over the lake. It's a snow-covered planter box. If I had some syrup in one of those cute paper cones, I'd turn you into a tasty treat. Look at that! Beneath the snow are some flower bulbs. Even with the snow gone, I doubt they'll grow. That dirt looks like it hasn't been refreshed in years.
You guys really need to grow up.
Oh, have a heart. They're just enjoying their childhood.
Yeah? Well, enjoy it while it lasts, little bulbs. The Reaper spares neither women nor newly budding children.
I feel like maybe we should say a few words or something. After all, these are the Baron's remains.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to say goodbye to the Baron von Kiefer. And though he's already walked through the valley of the shadow of death, today we must ask not what this planter box can do for him, but what he can do for this planter box. Ashes to ashes, so on and so forth, yada yada yada. Now dump that sucker.
Touching, Frederick. Truly touching. That didn't do anything. Flat.
What'd you expect? It's ash. Noble ash, but still just ash nonetheless.
It's a note pinned to the control panel.
Let me save you crow's feet and read that for you. It says, Baron Shroudy, I fixed the control panel for the theater flats. I had to, find something about cross-wired to some power source. We'll fix it next time, I think. Signed RM. Man, this guy must be a doctor. I can barely read this note.
Note? Who wrote you?
Some guy with the initials RM. That chicken scratch had to have been written by a doctor.
I don't think I'll need that note. I can read it here. It's a bunch of levers. But whatever it is they're supposed to do isn't working.
They're actually used to make the theater backdrops go up and down, and they used to work just fine.
How do you know this?
Because the current backdrop has a giant sun on it. I used to wait until Shroudy was walking by the theater, and then pull the lever and make the sun suddenly appear. It used to scare the crap out of him.
What do you mean, used to?
Well, I kinda broke it. I was sitting there waiting for Shroudy to walk by, and I started to feel hungry. So I went and got some nut and fruit snacks out of my cage. While I was happily munching away, a couple of them slipped through my wings and fell down inside the control panel. Ever since then, I haven't been able to pull the levers.
Can't you reach in there and grab your nuts and dried fruits?
Unfortunately, the holes in the panel are too narrow for me to fit my wings through.
You need to learn to be less messy when you eat. I sure hope we don't need to use these for some reason. But considering how things have gone so far, I'm sure we will. I would like to talk to that, but it lacks brains, lungs, and interesting thoughts to share. The levels are jammed. Fodrick's fruit and nuts are blocking their movement. Look at that mess! Fodrick, is this your doing?
Well, yeah. I saw some strange guy in a lab coat installing this thing for Shroudy a while back. That's why I was messing around with it.
I don't talk to things like that. It's against the Apostolate's code of conduct to clean up after dirty bats.
That's not in there.
Well, it ought to be. There are seats for this theater, although I've never performed for an audience here. Theater seats? I wonder if you've seen a lot of operas.
When Shroudy was building this theater for you, he bought those chairs from an authentic Paris opera house, one that happened to be showing Rats, which at the time was the longest-running show in Paris opera history.
What happened to the show?
The plague. After people started dying by the thousands, it was tough to view a bunch of rats in a sympathetically romantic light.
No, thank you. I don't want to get my dress dirty. It looks like the seats are covered in stale popcorn and empty boxes of Juju Bats candy.
It's the decapitated head of a bear.
How barbaric!
But the taxidermy is very sophisticated. Note the flawless preservation of his dying roar.
I'm going to call you Fuzzy Wuzzy, who was a bear, but is now a stuffed wall ornament. I have no need for it.
What if we get attacked by a giant Goldilocks? You might want to keep it in mind. It's a particularly large squirrel with fangs.
That's a beaver, bug brain.
Lame. Giant vampire squirrels would have been way cooler.
It's Beatrice the beaver. Are you stuck? Need any help?
Mona, she's dead. She can't answer you.
She's not dead. She's just sleeping. Never touch anything in this castle that could come to life.
Especially a zombie beaver. He'll chew your head off, man.
It's a comedic version of the traditional comedy tragedy masks, only with a slight vampiric twist.
A vampire comedy? Give me a break.
Seriously, as if anybody would ever try to write one of those.
If they did, I would hope they'd give all the really good lines to the vampire's wacky sidekick.
Hello, Mask. You look a bit like a clown. What's wrong, Fodrick? You're shivering.
Sorry, man. Clowns just really freak me out.
I don't want that. It looks too much like Shroudy after he's been out hunting for wine shops. It's the dedication plaque for this theater.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that Shroudy might have a crush on you.
It's a dedication plaque for this theater. It says, the Mona de la Fête Memorial Theater, established 1892. Wish I could pull that down and burn it. That is what I think of Shroudy and his pathetic attempt to buy my love. It's a tragic version of the traditional comedy tragedy masks, only with a slight vampiric twist. When I look at you, I feel as though I'm losing control and I have no soul. No, I don't want it. I wonder if that was the face that Shroudy made just before he died.
I'm not sure, but it does look a little bit like the face he made the other day when I spiked his blood supply with Tabasco sauce.
It's the head of a most unfortunate little piggy.
It's actually a boar, like its former owner. And really, how many pigs have not met an unfortunate end? It's not like pig milk is in high demand.